So I remember I had like my post all drafted up, and then I just like went to the range to hit golf balls, and I just like posted it, and then I like kind of put my phone down, and obviously like it blew up and whatever.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bird's Eye View. You know today's guest as a record-breaking sharpshooter, NCAA's all-time leading scorer, and an absolute generational game changer. I mean, in her rookie season alone, she shattered records for points, for assists, became the first rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. She earned Rookie of the Year, all WNBA first-team honors, led the league in assists, and in just her second year of the WNBA, she served as an All-Star Game captain. Today on the pod, I'm excited to welcome Caitlin Clark. But before I get into our amazing conversation, you know what time it is. It's time for Sue's View. Okay, so for this week's Sue's View, we're going to start off with 2 trades that happened. As I'm recording this, there's still one more day in the trade deadline, so TBD if anything else happens. But as of right now, we saw the Minnesota Lynx acquire guard DiJonai Carrington from the Dallas Wings. In exchange, Dallas received forward Diamond Miller. They got Carly Samuelson, and they also got Minnesota's 2027 second-round draft pick. I actually think this trade is great for both sides. I talked a little bit about this on A Touch More with Megan. Real quick, because next year's CBA is going to enter the picture, and because next year pretty much everybody is a free agent because the CBA is going to be new, it's not that risky if you're Dallas to trade away a player like Carrington. She's a free agent next year. You don't know if you're going to keep her. And what you're getting back is a really young, talented player in Diamond Miller. Diamond was the second pick a couple years ago in the draft. She has definitely shown some bright spots, some potential. So now you're getting a player who still has one more year on their deal. So for the Dallas Wings, it makes sense. I know it feels bad because Carrington was such a big part of what they were doing, but for the future, I think this makes sense. And then when you flip back over to the Lynx, I mean, this is a team that is clearly trying to win a championship. They're number 1 right now. They're ahead by like 5.5 games, so they're doing great. But adding a vet like Carrington, it helps their defense. I think at times it'll help their offense. She's played with Courtney Williams and Natisha Heidelman before, and she's just been there. So she brings an experience that I think any team going for a championship, that experience is always a plus. I actually got to see her first game out when she suited up for the Lynx. They played against the Storm. It was a really tight game, and already you can see the impact she's going to have. And it also kind of played out. She did a post-game interview where she talked about that franchise, just wanting her to be the best version of herself. But what really stuck out is that the type of coach Cheryl Reeve is, like very demanding, wants the best, holds you accountable. I think a player like DiJonai is going to really respond to that. She already did her first game out. So like I said, overall, I think the trade on both sides is a win-win. And honestly, I feel really similar about the Seattle trade. Very quickly, Seattle gets Brittany Sykes from DC. DC gets Alicia Clark, Zaya Cook, and the Seattle Storm first-round pick. So TBD on what that ends up being, but that's for 2026. And honestly, everything I just said about the Lynx Dallas trade is true for the Storm Mystics trade. The Storm get a vet player, a player that brings both offense and defense, plays both sides of the ball. I think it'll bolster a roster that's already showing some promise to have a deep playoff run. So that really helps. And for DC, even though they're losing what Brittany Sykes was bringing, they're getting that with AC. AC also brings vet leadership. It's a player that wasn't really getting in the rotation as of late. So now she could probably find that in DC. And then, of course, DC is preparing for the future. I know they've had to waive Zaya Cook. They also had to waive Zika Kone. That's just part of the business. We'll see where those 2 players land. It doesn't mean they're done for the year. So keep your eye on that. But yeah, I think both trades, they serve their purposes. And then, of course, we can just wait and see how they turn out. Support for Bird's Eye View comes from Nike. What was your biggest win? Was it in front of a sold-out stadium or the first time you beat your teammate in practice? Nike knows winning isn't always done in front of cheering crowds. Sometimes winning happens in your driveway, on a quiet street at the end of your longest run, or on the blacktop for a pickup game. Nike is here for all the wins, big or small. They provide the gear, you bring the mindset. Visit Nike.com for more information. And be sure to follow Nike on Instagram, TikTok, and other social platforms for more great basketball moments. Support for this show comes from Google Pixel. When the extraordinary is possible, never settle for less. For your next phone upgrade, meet the Google Pixel 9 Pro. It's got a stunning new design, the advanced AI power of Gemini, and their best camera yet. It's built to capture everyone in your group in beautiful resolution, including the person taking the photo. Now that's extraordinary. You can learn more about the new Google Pixel 9 with Gemini Live on the Google Store. Okay, next up, I'm going to bring it back to the Atlanta Dream. Talked about their success earlier in the season. They were doing it by shooting threes, by rebounding the ball well, which, give or take, a couple percentage points here and there, they still are. They're also still moving their way up the standings. They're now in third place at 18-11. That's just one game out of second. They have all-stars in Alicia Gray, Bree Jones, Ryan Howard, plus top talent like Brittany Griner and Jordan Canada. But recently, there's been one player that has really stuck out to me. It's pretty much the player I notice every time I watch Atlanta play, and that's Naz Hillmon. A quick look at the stats tells you a lot. She's got the best net rating on the team. She's averaging career highs in points and rebounds with 8.5 and 5.3. But what jumps out to me is how she has extended her range. If you've listened to previous episodes, you know I love when a post player, but especially a four, can shoot threes. It really unlocks an offense. And Naz is giving Atlanta that type of look. But honestly, you have to hear the numbers to truly appreciate what she's doing. In her first 3 seasons, she shot a total of 6 3-pointers. 6. Not 6 a year, 6 total in 3 seasons, okay? She made 1. She was 1 for 6 in 3 years, and she just made that first one last season. This year, she's already shot 104 of them and is shooting 33.7%. That is, that is a crazy jump. So crazy, I don't even know if I've ever seen that before. She's also top 5 in efficiency and field goal attempts in the restricted area at 73%. So to bring this all together, Atlanta is 6-2 in their last 8 games. During that stretch, they're 38% from 3, which is good for 3rd in the league, and 4th in points in the paint. All the same categories that Naz excels in, so you can see her impact there. Not to mention, she had the game winner against Dallas last week. It's giving most improved. It's giving 6th Woman of the Year. It's giving, I can't wait to see how this unfolds. Another player who is impacting winning right now is Aari McDonald for the Indiana Fever. In their last 11 games, the Fever are 8-3, and in the last 6 games, they're 5-1. During this last 6-game stretch, Aari is averaging 14.2 points on 50% shooting from the field and 50% from 3. She's got 5.5 assists, 1.5 steals, and even 2.5 rebounds, which is pretty impressive at her size. The numbers alone show Aari is playing some of the best basketball, but I'm going to take it a step further. We all know how important Caitlin Clark is to the Fever, and we also know how important the Caitlin-Aliyah pick and roll is to the Fever offense. Their chemistry is actually something that we talk about later in the pod. Last season, they finished 8th in the league in pick and roll duo efficiency, and this year, in limited time, they were set to finish 7th. Now, even though it's a super small sample size, Aari and Aliyah are also top 10 in the league in pick and roll efficiency at 10th. And Aari herself is 7th in pick and roll points per chance. Caitlin's return is so important to their playoff run, and it's been hard for her to be out this long. Again, something else we talk about in the pod, but having a player who can plug into the offensive schemes and play efficiently and effectively is definitely helping the Fever make strides while Caitlin is out. So then it could be super easy and seamless when she returns. All right, for this episode, we're ending Sue's View a little differently. We asked you this past week to send some questions in. You guys had some good ones. I'm not going to lie. Some of them too spicy for me to answer. But there were a couple that I could tap into, and this is a super easy one for me. So from @Zoe_.il, the question is, favorite nickname you were given during the WNBA or at UConn? Okay, so I've said this one publicly before, so this might not be a surprise to most of you, but somehow, some way, probably like 4, 5, 6 years into my WNBA career, it got back to me that a fan nicknamed me Sue Die Bitches Bird. I think it's because I was hitting some game winners against their favorite team. I don't even remember exactly who told me, but what I do know is my teammates got wind of it, and from that moment on, I was known as Sue DB Bird. I love the nickname because I know, the one thing I do know, even though I have no idea who started it, don't know where it came from, don't even remember how it got to me, but what I do know is every time I hit a game winner, somebody out there was saying, that was me going, die, bitches. What's not to love about that? All right. So even though that nickname, came, like I said, a couple years into my WNBA career, the OG nickname from childhood, from college, UConn, WNBA, you name it, is of course Birdie. All right. That's it for Sue's View. Let's get to this conversation with Caitlin Clark. Do you remember the first time we met? Like in person?
In person. In Seattle, right? Or was it a different time?
Oh, no, that was the first time. Do you remember the second time we met?
You don't even remember. The second time we met.
Yeah, second time. You came on my show.
Oh my gosh, yes. But we met before that.
Yeah, we had met before that. My bad. So
I guess I'm not memorable.
Yeah,
whatever.
Bad. Yeah, good point.
And you came to the game, and that was a big win.
Yeah.
Guess it wasn't a memorable win for you.
No,
but whatever.
That wasn't a big win. You guys played like Bowling Green or somebody.
No.
Yeah.
No, the first time. I'm saying it in Seattle. Weren't you at the game?
Yes,
no, or did
we're going
you
to get to that in a second.
Okay, sorry.
Stay with me on Sue's Places.
My bad.
Honestly, you want to know my favorite part about going to Iowa? Like I said, you helped film Sue's Places.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that. After the game, so I was able to stick around, catch a game. It was that. So actually, that was
poor Bowling Green.
Your senior, yeah, poor Bowling Green. That was your senior year, yeah. So that was the second time I'm seeing you in person. God, now I have my years mixed up. No, we're on point. This is my favorite part of that story.
Oh gosh.
We go out to dinner after the game.
Yes.
So I'm with Jason, I'm with Ezra, with Jason's friend Terry, and somehow gets communicated to us that we're going to a place called Pasta.
No. Basta.
I know.
This is
but
everyone's
they're
problem.
like, oh, it's this Italian place. And it was like, you know what? Of course the Italian place in Iowa is called Pasta.
We're more creative than that.
We were literally clowning. You don't have to be that close if you don't want, by the way.
Thank God. Okay,
you
so you can pick up my voice from back here?
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Thank God.
You can chill.
Okay.
I feel like you're eating it. So that was like my favorite part of the story. My other favorite part is that part of the Sue's Places was that like we were shooting threes. And I remember I went home, I went back that night and I was like, Megan, I was on fire. Thank God.
You were. I remember that.
I was like,
and I was rebounding.
First day back. That was like the first day back, like good vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing I remember was watching you play. So that was, even though I'd seen you play in Seattle during the NCAA tournament, I was like courtside. So now I'm seeing you like up close.
Yeah.
And what I remember was just like, you didn't shoot the ball that well.
I didn't. I was about to say that. I didn't shoot it well at all.
Yeah, you didn't shoot that well. But like your size, like your handles, your strength, like these were all things that really stuck out. And I'm going to go on a limb and assume that growing up with brothers, playing against boys had an impact on your career.
For sure.
But the one thing about going to dinner was I actually got to see and experience you with your family. So I'm just curious, like just to start out, like what impact has having like that tight-knit group had on your career so far?
Yeah. So I grew up with an older brother and a younger brother, and I had a big Italian family. So I had a lot of cousins, and all the boy cousins were my age and all the girl cousins were like older. So I always was stuck with all the boy cousins. And at family holidays, like we would always be playing games. We were always out in the front driveway shooting hoops, even like Easter egg hunts on, Easter, like somehow like I would always end up like with the least amount of eggs, and like I would be crying, I would be in tears, and I would like go crying to my mom, and my mom would always be like, I'm not helping you. Like, you got to figure out a way like to hold your own. And I was like that annoying little cousin that like always wanted to hang out with the older cousins and the boys. And honestly, I kind of just got bullied, but they're now like my biggest fans. Like they come to all my games and like they're like honestly my best friends. And people always joke like, you have a million cousins. And I'm like, I really do. But like, those are like my best friends and like my people. And, they ride for me. Like they're just very loyal. And even my brothers too. Like we grew up fighting and picking on each other, but like they're two of my biggest fans, if not the biggest fans, aside from my parents.
Right.
And, I'm just very thankful for that because not everybody has that. So, and both my brothers played basketball in high school. People always ask them if they can beat me one-on-one, and they always say yes, but they know deep down that that's not true.
Of course.
It's actually hilarious because both my brothers did not have much offensive skill, and they were like defensive stoppers. Like they were picking up full court. Like they loved defense. They were aggressive.
So you're used to that.
Yes. So we were like opposite, but they like to think they can guard me, but they can't.
One of the things you talked about again on Sue's Places was because I asked you about like your shooting and your form and all that stuff. And I know your dad was like a big part of that. Coached you young, helped you with your form, wouldn't let you shoot threes even though you wanted to. Didn't want you to mess things up. It sounds like your mom, make some dumb joke about, does your mom get credit for your passing? But it sounds like your mom.
My mom's definitely like the competitive side of my family.
It sounds like your mom.
My mom's dad was a high school football coach and like a bunch of my mom's siblings played sports and all of that. But my mom is definitely like the feisty, like super competitive. Not that my dad wasn't. My dad played basketball and baseball in college. But like everybody that meets my dad is like, your dad is so chill. Like he's just such a chill guy and like relaxed, and like he really is. But when he was playing, he had that same competitive spirit. And like even his high school coach, who comes to a lot of my games, or did when I was in high school and college, and even now, he's like, man, I see so much of your dad in you. But my dad is just very chill now. My mom is definitely the really feisty one. And people that sit next to my mom at games are like, man, she's so into it and so competitive. But like sports have always been a big part of, not only my life, but my parents' life growing up. Like that's all like sports, and like winning is what you wanted to do. And, I definitely get probably the really competitive, fiery aspect from my mom's side.
All right. Another thing you said, God, Sue's Place is getting a lot of love here. But another thing you said was like the deep three, the logo three, as we know it today, like came when you got to college, got stronger, got to college. But you were like, but I always had a step back.
I did always have the step back.
So like, where does that come from? Like, were you mimicking? Did it just come naturally?
I think it just like kind of came naturally. I don't know. It's kind of hard to put my finger on. Honestly, I grew up like a basketball junkie. So I think like even if you're not like intentionally like watching and like paying attention, like
osmosis.
You're just like absorbing what you're consuming. And I think like I always watch Steph or even Jimmer, like who I love. Like I told Jimmer this, like when we were doing Sue's Places, like he was one of my favorite players growing up. And there was the famous song, Teach Me How to Jimmer. And I had the shirt that said, Teach Me How to Jimmer. Like, if you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. It's a Teach Me How to Dougie remix. It's a Teach Me How to Jimmer. It's hilarious.
You need to get that thing signed.
I know. I don't think I have the shirt anymore.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I think it's just like from how much I watched basketball, even like high school basketball, the college basketball, and then obviously professionally, like I just loved being around the game. And I think it just kind of came with some of that.
Yeah. So eventually you do incorporate like the range that goes with the step back, that goes with your shooting. Was that something like that came out of necessity, or was it something that maybe somebody saw and like talked to you about? Or it sounds like, I feel like the look on your face is, did it come naturally?
I think it just came naturally.
Yeah.
I also think in college or in high school at the time, my high school court was a lot smaller than like the college court. We hadn't like some high schools in Iowa had started to get the college size courts, but we were still playing on the high school size court. So I started scooting back from the high school 3-point line, which now like if I go and shoot on a court and it's like I scoot up to like the high school 3-point line, I'm like, it's like a free throw. Yeah. Like I'm like, how did I ever like shoot from here?
And think it was far.
Yeah, literally, exactly. And honestly, I think it just kind of came naturally. I think also the way people began to guard me, like it's just like a natural reaction, like back up, because like then they wouldn't keep coming closer to me, and then I was able to shoot from there. So I think it was probably half and half, just like naturally of getting stronger, being confident in myself and my shot over time, and then just how people were, guarding me, especially when I got into college and like after freshman year of college, especially.
Yeah. So you famously, if you will, choose Iowa.
Yeah.
Famous because you committed to Notre Dame. Committed, right? Yeah.
On the low.
Yeah. Committed to on the low Notre Dame. But famous because you're an Iowa kid. It was really important to you to help take the program like back to Final Fours. It hadn't been to one since like the early
1992.
90s.
Yeah, when Steve Vivian Stringer was there. Yeah.
So you choose Iowa. What is it about like Lisa Bluter, her staff, that allowed you to like flourish?
Yeah, I think so. I first got there during COVID, and that whole year is a little blurry to me, just because it was just so different and so weird. But I think like just her belief in me from day one when I stepped on campus, like she gave me the keys to, the offense, really the program, and like always had a constant belief in, what I could do and what I could help us achieve. And I remember like some of my first summer practices, like I played pretty well. And there was like, there's the classic like golf outing, like and at the time we didn't have to go, but my dad was playing and it was like a fundraiser for our foreign trip. And Coach Bluter was like, had gone up to my dad and was like, Caitlin's doing so well. And I was like, so proud to hear that. Like when my dad told me, I'm like, obviously I knew that. But I think it was just like her belief in me more than anything. And to be honest, like when I first committed to Iowa, like I said from day one that I wanted to take them to a Final Four. And like a lot of people were just like, that would never happen. Like a lot of people that were really close to me, a lot of people that I trusted like in my life, like they never believed that I could help them achieve to where we ended up getting, other than really Coach Bluter. So I'm really thankful for her. And, you know, obviously it evolved over the course of 4 years. Like it was certainly a process. And I had some really good teammates that were some really good players and really just bought in and were some of my best friends. But I also think like Coach Bluter, like she really coached me. Like it wasn't like Caitlin just gets to do whatever she wants. Like I was held accountable more than anyone on the team by far.
Yeah, there was like film sessions,
yeah,
right? She'd
yeah, she would
like,
lay into me. It was tough. But
did she give you the green light? Did you like take the green light?
I think I gave
Did
myself the
green
light. And she never told me not to. I think there was definitely like a learning process too. Like there would be some games where like, you know, there's just games where you don't have it, and being able to like still help your team win. I think that was like a process of learning that over the course of my career, especially like trusting my teammates. Like that wasn't always something that I wanted to do early in my career in college. I felt like I always had to do it all myself. But I think especially like my junior and senior year, like that was the reason we were so good, is because like my teammates always flourished in their role, but I also trusted them and they trusted me.
Where does that trust come from? Do you think that's like you have to work on that and gain it, or you have to give it early and then live into it?
Well, I think we were fortunate enough, like we had the same starting five for 4 years. Like that doesn't happen in college. Mm-mm. And like obviously COVID was a part of that. My teammates were able to take extra years, but also like they were my best friends. Like we always hung out with each other. Like I think having that relationship is so important. And like you don't have to be best friends with your teammates to have the same amount of success, but like we did. And I think that made up for like maybe the talent that we lacked or the skill that we lacked in certain areas.
Right.
Like
the chemistry.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it was just the trust part of it that we had with my teammates.
Yeah. Well, you get to college, you lead the nation in scoring your freshman year. So the green light, whether it was given, earned, or whatever, there's a reason you had
People forget that. I forget that.
You forget that?
I'm 26 my freshman year.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because then what's even crazier is your sophomore year, you lead in scoring and assists. So I think one of the special parts of your game is that balance. Mm-hmm. And clearly you figured that out early. So like, what in that, if you can think back to that time, like what are you learning about that balance and how to achieve both?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like always been a part of my game. And I think the pace at which I play, like that's where a lot of my assists come, like in transition. Like I'm not like I don't know, like I feel like I don't know. I think that's, we played fast, we played up tempo. That's where like I kind of got.
What were you going to say though? You don't know.
I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, I think it was kind of a balance, but also like when I played for my AAU team, All Iowa Tech, like we played that same manner of how I played at Iowa. Like we played fast, we played up tempo. So for me, like I wasn't changing my game when I got to college. Like it was very similar. Like All Iowa Tech, like we're known to have like 5 shooters on the floor at all time. Like we played with really good floor spacing, and at Iowa it was the same way. Like 4 people were on the floor that could shoot at the same time. And then obviously we usually played with a true post, but they rarely missed too. Like Mon never missed. Like Hannah Stolke was tremendous when I was there too. And even our backup post players, like I always think about like how Coach Bluter like ran practices and things. And like I'm very fortunate looking back and like now going to like watch other colleges' practices and things like that. Like she really like was so intentional about like making sure everyone was on the same page and like knew what they were doing and knew their role. In a way, like when I talk to people about it, I like joke, like she brainwashed people, not like actually, but like
no, part of it is a little bit of it.
We're like brainwashed into like, okay, if you drive here, like you're going here and you're going here. And like even now at the professional level, I'm like, how do people not know like where to move? Like it blows my mind still. Like, but I think it just makes me like really appreciative of like what Coach Bluter was able to do when we were at Iowa. Like she was so smart. She was able to like construct a team and make sure everyone always knew what they were going to do, whether you were the smartest basketball player on the team or you weren't. Like you were always on the same page with your teammates. And
it's not brainwashing, but I hear what you're saying.
Like it's not brainwashing, but
because
like,
it becomes like a way of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just like it's like what you do.
Exactly.
You're not really thinking, and so that's why it kind of feels like that. So what do you think makes you a great passer? I've been asked this question a lot about you, and so I have my thoughts.
I think my willingness to take risks, which probably leads to a lot of turnovers. I think also like I can see things happen before they do. Also like I feel like I'm a good defensive rebounder. Like I try to, that's always like my goal. Like go get the rebound and go. Like that's the best way to start our offense is like I'd have the ball immediately. It makes it harder for the defense to pick me up. You know, we're going in transition. It's harder to match up. It means we got to stop. I think also like I play with good teammates. Like I play with really good cutters. Even in college, like Kate was a great cutter. Like I had people on my team that were good cutters. Like and now Kelsey,
I mean the
Lexi, Sophie. Like you go down the list. Like I play with really good cutters that make it easy. Like Kelsey, like you can like be like guarded up, like denying her, but like she's just faster than you. So at the end of the day, like she's still gonna get the ball. So I'd say those things.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think strength is a big part of your passing. Yeah. You can like get it there.
Yeah.
Because there's sometimes I watch you play and I'll see the thing you're seeing. But like for myself, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I would have thrown it because I don't know if I would have gotten it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think like I haven't always like realized how strong I like actually am. Because like you look at me, I like probably don't look the strongest, but I am. And it's also, I think that goes kind of back to my shooting. Like even when we do these, like this might be stupid, but when we do our half court shots at the end of shoot around, like I shoot my shot normally. Like some people are doing like heaves and like they're running. I'm like, no, like I'm just like, but I think that just comes from like my legs and like how strong I am. Like that's just like kind of normal for me.
Do you think passing can be something that is like learned? Like, can you get better at it? Is it, you know, film and understanding, or is it just a feel?
I think it's like 50-50. Like, I think you're kind of like
you have to have it and then you can improve
Everyone can be a good passer. Like, I think it's your like willingness to like pass and like want to get your teammates open. But also like there is like just some things that you can't teach, like your ability like as a point guard to be able to see the game like happen before it does happen. Like you can't teach someone that. That's kind of just like a skill you get. And I think that kind of just goes back to like your IQ of the game. And I think a lot of that comes from like you're just watching basketball and like being around the game and loving the game.
Are there other players in the WNBA that like when you watch them, you're like, oh, they have that same feel, just like from a passing standpoint?
I think Sabrina, and like even watching her throughout college, because like when I was in, you know, high school, like she was one of my favorite players because she at the time she was like the person in college. Like that was just my time period. Like her Oregon teams were amazing. Yeah. I think Sabrina, I mean Skylar.
Yeah. Chelsea Gray. Yeah, honestly, Alyssa Thomas.
Yeah.
Like for a post player?
Absolutely, yeah.
Aliyah Boston.
Yeah, Aliyah.
She's becoming like a really good
post
playmaker.
Passer, best post playmaker for sure in the league.
Okay, so back to college for a second. You're like going through your freshman, sophomore, you're getting into junior and senior. What are you noticing? Because I'm sure you're noticing a shift in how people are guarding you. So like, what is it? Or you're like, the defenses are just so bad in college, we'll just move
on? Honestly, like I might go back at one point in my life and coach college basketball just because like looking back, like obviously at the time, like that was all I knew.
Yeah.
And then like you get into the pros and it's just like, okay, like why didn't people guard me like this? But also like you have to take into account like most people that are in college like aren't going to go on to play professional basketball. Like they just don't have the IQ. Like doesn't mean they're not good players. Doesn't mean they don't love the game. But like it's just not the same at the end of the day. But like in college, like I feel like all I saw was drop. All I saw was like I rarely saw a show. I mean like here and there. And if I saw a show, we would run this one play. It was called C. It's engraved in my brain. It's insane.
Brainwashed.
It'd be like, all right, we know they're showing this game. We're running C. It was like, I acted like I was coming off a ball screen. We got the post player to kind of show out. I would immediately dribble back to my right. Mon would go and pin down for our guard coming off the block, and then Mon would just seal, and we get a layup every time. And we just continue to run it for 4 years straight, and literally no one could catch on. So it's like, all you needed was like one answer professionally. Like, that doesn't work. Like, okay, nice. The play might work one time, but it's not going to work the next time you play him. It's not going to work the second time you run it. Nobody really picked me up full court. And even if they did, like, I would just like slice up the floor and then get hit on the run. And then like, I'd automatically be in an advantage there. So I don't know. I feel like it was just, at times I wish I could go back to college. It was fun. It was a good time.
I know. I mean, the way you play is so, you have to have a game plan for you. Mm-hmm. You can't not have even in pickup, you'd probably be a nightmare to play in pickup. Yeah. I always think of that with Steph Curry. And I'm not even making the comparison in these other ways, which you can, but it's like, he must be a nightmare to play pickup against.
That's why I was excited to play in the All-Star game. Cause I was like, yes. Like I'm just going to get some clean, free looks, dribble in.
I know. Cause last All-Star game was a little different.
Yeah. Cause we were trying,
team. Yeah,
which was fun.
We were trying.
I liked that. I wish we would have tried harder this year, honestly. I think make it a little more fun.
All-Stars are tricky with that.
Yeah.
I've been a part of some where
it's hard because we don't really get a break,
trying.
and it's just like, it's
totally.
Support for this show comes from Google Pixel. It's 2025. You don't need to settle for just any old smartphone. You can have a smarter phone, like the Google Pixel 9 Pro. Pixel 9 Pro comes with Gemini, your built-in AI assistant that helps you supercharge your ideas. And now with Gemini Live, you can have an actual conversation with Gemini. So the next time you want to brainstorm party ideas, uncover interesting fun facts, or even get quizzed on basketball trivia, you can ask Gemini. And it features Pixel's best camera yet, built to capture everyone in beautiful resolution. It has a pro triple rear camera, super res zoom, now available for video, and their Add Me feature, which gets your entire group in the pics, including the person taking the photo. All that adds up, so you'll never have to miss a shot and never have to settle for less than extraordinary. Meet Pixel 9 Pro. With a stunning new design, the advanced AI power of Gemini, and their best camera yet, now we're talking. You can learn more about the new Google Pixel 9 with Gemini Live on the Google Store. Support for Bird's Eye View comes from Etsy. As these ladies dominate the game on the court, stars Cameron Brink, Skylar Diggins, Nneka Ogwumike, and Brianna Stewart are dominating off the court as well, and teaming up with Etsy to show how their style travels. With an exclusive collection from Etsy, these athletes showcase their coveted personal style with the help of Etsy sellers. By blending self-expression with craftsmanship, this collaboration is more than a drop. It's a celebration of the shared spirit of grit, originality, and heart that drives both athletes and makers to create something truly special. The 4-piece Icon collection includes a 2-piece clothing set by Skylar Diggins and Etsy seller Mary Lowe of By Mary Lowe, metal statement earrings by Nneka Ogwumike and Etsy seller Deja Sparks of Deja Sparks Jewelry, a New York City-inspired charm necklace by Brianna Stewart and Etsy seller Hadley Staub of From Hadley, and press-on nails by Cameron Brink and Etsy seller Haley Tripp of Bling It On Nails. Plus, each athlete has also curated a selection of more style finds on Etsy, offering a deeper look into their off-court aesthetics and creative inspirations. Shop the full collection and curated edits exclusively at etsy.com/the Icon Collection.
Okay, so we talk a lot about, or people talk a lot about your big games. And you actually brought up a little bit earlier, just like there are games where you're not going to shoot well.
For sure.
And so I'm curious, what are you thinking in the games when you don't have it? What are you thinking on A, how can I still impact winning?
Mm-hmm.
And then B, what are you kind of in the back of your head trying to do to get it going?
Yeah, I think it's been different professionally than definitely in college. Like in college, I always had to keep shooting. That was just reality. Keep shooting, keep shooting, keep shooting. And not that it's not professionally, but I'm not taking 25 shots a game. I'm taking 25 shots a game in college. I think just remaining confident in myself no matter what, and reminding myself of how much time I've put in, I'm not going to stay shooting that way because that just wouldn't make sense. But
law of averages.
Also, I can always impact the game with my passing, with my gravity. And even when I've had some tough games this season, where I haven't been able to shoot the ball maybe as well as I would have liked, Steph will bring me in the next day and we always watch film and she'll show me the ways of how I'm impacting the game. Even if I'm not making the pass or getting the assist, I'm getting the hockey assist, or my gravity of spacing the floor, that led to my teammate cutting and getting open right there. That led to my post player being able to make the basket, just little things like that. And, obviously sometimes that's hard to understand when you're in the, heat of a game.
Yeah.
And also it doesn't always feel that way too.
Mm-hmm.
You are so competitive and you want to impact winning so much, but I think it's always good to go back and really watch it and see it. So I think it's been a little bit different professionally and just balancing that, but also still always believing I'm impacting the game no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, you've also had some big major games, I would say.
Yeah.
We actually talked about this on A Touch More the other day, where that Louisville game. So we're in your junior year, 2023, Elite Eight in Seattle. That's a kind of a turning point.
41, 10, and 12 or something
just
that.
The first 40-point triple-double ever.
Yeah.
No big deal. What do you remember about that game? I know you said that the question that we talked about in A Touch More was more about your life changing.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did it feel different? But this is still a huge game.
Yeah.
So what do you remember about that game? I I can give you like a little bit of you started down.
Yeah, we started down. I remember, I think they got off to an 8-0 lead.
Yeah,
Coach Woodard calls a timeout. And like we went into the timeout and like no one was frazzled. Like we were fine. I think everybody was a little jittery. It was like, okay, like our goal has always been to get to the Final Four. Like we're like so close. Everybody's a little tense. And I thought we settled in like right away. We come out of that timeout. I think I made a layup right away.
Yep.
And then we go on a little bit of a run. I think I get a steal, whatever happens.
You went on a run.
I did go on a run.
Some other people scored too, but you basically, you started hitting.
And then honestly, I think we kind of like built a little bit of a lead. And then we went into the fourth quarter up maybe 10 or so. Like we had a pretty decent lead in the fourth.
Yeah.
And then they kind of started pressing and came back a little bit, but we were kind of able to win comfortably. Like it didn't come down to the wire, which I appreciated.
What I want to ask you about it though, before you get into the rest of it is, so you start down 8. I actually had Kate on like a couple months ago and I was laughing because I talked to you guys before and I was like, this is a hard game. But and at first I was laughing with Kate because I was like, well, my advice was terrible because you guys blew them out. But actually you were down 8-0. So maybe you came through. Maybe you came through. No. But what I'm bringing up is you have like a double-double basically almost at halftime, I think. And you had 22 and 8.
At half?
You had 22 and 8 at half, and you're only up 5. But here's my question. Crazy. A lot of people have 22 and 8 in a game like that, and they finish with like 24 and 9. Mm-hmm. You know, like that is so just hard. A classic. Yeah.
And even professionally, like coming out of the locker room, it's like, I hate halftime sometimes.
So how did you keep it going? That's the question.
I think were we winning or losing at halftime?
You were up 5.
We were up.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I feel like I was so locked in, like, over that 2-year stretch of my career. And honestly, especially when we get into postseason play in college, like, nothing was stopping me at the end of the day. Yeah. Like, we were going to win. Yeah. Like, that was just what was going to happen. And, like, for me, like, I don't know. I feel like there was, like, this just, like, constant belief like within our team and our locker room and our coaches. Like we had worked so hard for that moment, and also the year prior we like got upset to Creighton on our home court, and like I feel like that was kind of the fire that we needed to like be able to accomplish what we wanted to accomplish. Until that point, like we had been like we just won all the time, like we won the Big Ten tournament, we won the Big Ten regular season title. Like nothing was really like we hadn't really like hit adversity, and I feel like we hit adversity my sophomore year in the NCAA tournament. And I think that kind of really led us to the moment of like nothing was going to stop us my junior year especially, but obviously going into my senior year too. So I think like, I don't know, like I tell people like going into those games in college, like I feel like I was in a daze. And like it's kind of the same professionally. Like the professional level is just so different. Like the schedule, everything, like it's just very different. But in college, like I wasn't nervous like for any of those games, and I don't really get nervous professionally either, but like in college, like it was just like what I did. Like I just showed up and had 30 and 10 every single night. Like I don't know, but
just another Monday.
Also, like I feel like I knew I had to keep performing at that level for us to win. Like I mean, I had 22 and 8 and we were only up 5. Yeah. So like it was like I have to keep going.
Would you call it the flow state? This is like the coveted thing.
For sure.
Would you call it that?
Yeah.
So that game felt like a flow state.
Yeah, and I would say even the next year too. Well, obviously, and the next game when we played South Carolina.
Yeah. Actually, we'll come back to the flow state in a second. So, yeah, you guys go on. So basically, your junior and senior year, you get to the finals both times. Obviously, both disappointing, but they did feel like these like magical seasons. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm curious, like which one was harder? Was it harder the first time when you don't know any better? Or was it harder the second time where it's like, oh, I don't have the ignorance is bliss?
Honestly, I'm going to say the first time because, like, I feel like there was so much pressure on us to, like, accomplish getting to the Final Four because that's what we always said. And that was Monica's last year.
Mm-hmm. And so you felt pressure to do that for her.
Yeah. And, like, the year prior, we choked. And I remember we played the round of 32 game my junior year versus Georgia. And it was like the same situation. Like we were only up like 2-4 like the entire game. Like everyone was tense, everyone was tight. Like you're playing in front of a sold out crowd, in front of everybody, 15,000 people. Like you're supposed to win, but also like that's a top 25 team. Basically, everybody's playing at that point.
Yeah, they play scrappy too.
Yeah, they're scrappy. Yeah. They play like they played the weird zone. Mm-hmm. and it came down to the wire. And I think like once we got over that point and we beat them and made it to the Sweet 16, it's like, okay, everyone like has a sigh of relief. But still, there was certainly that pressure. So I would definitely say my junior year. And then I think that was like kind of what made like going into senior year kind of hard. And I remember like the beginning of senior year, like I did feel a lot of pressure. Like it was my last year.
Yeah.
I remember I was like really tense and tight to start the year, but probably because I felt like, junior year was so amazing and I did all these things. I was National Player of the Year. I averaged 27 and 10 or whatever it was. Like I was like, how can I possibly like do anything more at this point? Like how is that possible?
Oh, I see.
And then I did senior year. So it's like, I think I felt the pressure of that more than anything.
Okay.
And then like senior year, like, we lose Monica, who was like kind of my right-hand man. Yeah. I was kind of like, is there really any way we're as good as we were? And then our record was better my senior year. Like we performed better, realistic, more than we did my junior year. And then, Hannah Stolke kind of stepped into Monica's role and was really, really good and has been really good since. And she's in her senior year now. So I would definitely say junior year, I felt more of that. This is kind of hard thing and pressure.
Yeah,
and then junior year is kind of like, last year we're having fun. Might as well go win. Like it doesn't matter. This is the end.
We got to fall for once.
And then Kate didn't really know she was coming back at the time, my junior year. So I feel like that was kind of a thing that was always up in the air. Is like, Kate, Monica, McKenna, like those are like three players. Like there's no way we're getting back to the Final Four without them.
Yeah. So the expectations kind of made it.
It was like, this is our last chance. We better figure it out.
Yeah.
And we did, thank God. But
does it still, I asked Kate this too, like, and I know the answer, but does it still sting to have gotten to the finals twice?
I mean, yeah, like I would have loved to win one of them, but honestly, like 2 of my most fun nights in college were after losing the national championship. Like,
yeah, fair.
We had just as much fun. Like, I mean, yes, we were sad. We would have loved to win one of them. And I think I would have loved to win one of them. Not so much because like, okay, yeah, like I win one of them. We get like a ring, whatever, like people celebrate. But like, honestly, I think people celebrated us just as much as they did if we, didn't win, obviously. But just so people like wouldn't constantly talk about that. Like it just gave them another thing to talk about. Like, oh, they don't win. They didn't win. They didn't win. Like, okay, like we were the University of Iowa. Like nobody believed in us. Like, do you know how amazing it is to have done what we did? And like, I think we're all very proud of that. And we make jokes about it. Like we're the best second place team there's ever been.
Yeah. Like what do you keep talking about your teammates and it's like, just from outside looking in, I can see how special the relationship is. Like, what do they mean to you even now? Like,
I mean, they're my best friends at the end of the day. Like I talk to them all the time. And like, even the ones that maybe I don't talk to all the time, like we still stay in touch. Like, one of my teammates just had got married. A lot of them got to go. It was over All-Star. So I didn't get to go, but like, that's just like the bond that we all share. And like, I think like that's the coolest part is like how much we all stay in touch and like really cheer and support each other and constantly show up for each other. And honestly, I feel like you have to give Coach Bluter a lot of that credit because I always tell people like, she's probably one of the best team builders there is. Like that's always kind of what she was known for. Like, yes, they had great teams and like, she's good at basketball X's and O's, but like
it goes beyond that.
Even the teams before us, like they're very close knit. Like it's just like a special bond that people always had if you played for the University of Iowa, the women's basketball program. Yeah, I can even see it
with like how like Megan Gustafson,
with her teammates,
with her teammate, but even supported you guys.
100%. Like she showed up, she would come to our games, like she loved it. She was just happy for us. Like those players were just happy for us. And I remember like when we got to the Finals Fours, it was like always such a scramble for tickets because like so many former players were like, and it's obviously the same for UConn and other places too, but like it was a huge deal. Like they just loved it and loved being a part of it.
I would say this. I hear what you're saying on the fact that you didn't win gave people like something to latch onto, but I would say, I know for a fact, like more people are proud, I think, of what you guys did, what you guys built, like your group, you especially.
And I think it's like crazy, like at the time, like you're in the moment and like my senior year, like I just saw this the other day, like I kind of forgot. I think our Sweet 16 game was 12 million viewers. Or maybe I have it wrong. Our Elite 8 game was 12 million viewers, and then the Final Four was 14, and the National Championship was like 18 million viewers. And at the time, like, I remember like, oh, that's cool. But like,
now you're like, whoa.
You don't realize like how insane that is. Like that's NFL Christmas Day numbers. Yeah. Like that's insane. Like how many people were like tuning in to watch college women's basketball, like, and loved it and supported it. And we're like so excited about like just the journey. So I think at the time I was like so in a daze of everything that was going on. Like you didn't really take time to process that. And
No, the further you get, the
more
more
it
it'll
hits
hit.
kind of.
Yeah, 100%.
It's really interesting.
Yeah. Let's go back to the quote unquote flow state for a second.
Okay.
You've scored 60 points in high school. You've had 40-point games in college. I imagine games like this will happen in your WNBA career as well. So when you think of those games, is it the flow state? Something you said on Sue's Places keeps coming up. Something you said was like, when you're a shooter, like all great shooters, when it leaves your hand, This is actually something Steph Curry has talked about. And he's talked about like, especially the ones where he shoots in turns.
Yeah.
He's like, for him, that is flow state because he just knows. And it comes down to like the details for him. And he like trains these details. So I'm just curious, like, is flow state something you think you can train to get to more often? Or is this just like, you're in it? And that's the only you can't like necessarily make it happen more or less.
Wow, that's a good question. So I think it is something you train.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, like, I feel like when you get into that kind of flow or those moments, like, it's just something that happens. And then, like, you feed off of it and you build off of it. Like, when I've had those games, like, yes, it's because, like, I've imagined myself in these moments. I've worked for these moments. Whatever it is. But then, like, when you're actually in it, like, you're building on it. Like, you're continuing. Like, the basket is this big. Like, you continue to shoot. You continue to, find the open teammate, whatever it is. Like, the game just feels easy. Like, it just, like...
Is that the moments where, like, you've hit, I'm making this up, maybe, like, your third in a row and you kind of, like, laugh?
Yeah. Yeah.
You turn and you're kind of like...
100%.
Like, it's happening.
100%. Like, and I think that's what makes it so fun. Like, and I think at times, like, also, like, you have moments where, like, you impress yourself. Like, I've had a lot of those moments, too, whether it's been, like, in college, like, just in practice, or in college in games, or even professionally in games where you're laughing because, like, not that you can't believe it's happening, but at the same time, you're like, that was, like, stupid ridiculous. Yeah. Like, that was awesome. Like, you're proud of yourself. Like, it's just cool. So I think you get into those moments and, like, you kind of just feed off of it and you're in, like, a different type of zone that nobody can take you out of, really.
Yeah. So given that you can make tough shots, how do you determine what's a good shot and what's a bad shot? Like, you know what I mean? Like, your level of difficulty is high.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also, like, it's kind of probably been a journey for me coming from college to the professional level, too. And, like, now over the course of, like, 3 years, I've played for 3 different coaches, too. So, like, every coach is going to be a little bit different. And, like, it's also a learning process of each other. It's the same me and Coach Bluter had in college of, like, having a little grace with one another, and obviously the same professionally of what they want and, what they need and what I need. But also I think, like, time and score is, like, probably the biggest thing for me. Like, even when we just played New York, I had just made 3, and it was the end of the first quarter, and I came down, and I, like, kind of danced with the ball for a little bit for no reason, and then, like, we could have got a 2-for-1, but I wasn't paying attention. And so, like, Steph was, like, came up to me at the end of the quarter and was like, hey, like, be aware of the clock. And, like, she's right. Like, those are the moments, like, you can't get, like, so in the zone and so, like, fixated on, like, I'm shooting this, I'm, like, doing this. Like, I should have just came down and shot it. Like, I'd already made 3. Like, it's either going to go in or it's not. And then
I love 2-for-1s.
Yeah,
it's like a free.
2-for-1s are the
like,
best.
I had to do it.
It drives me nuts when people don't do 2-for-1s.
I know. But when you're getting the first of the 2.
Yeah, so I think it's just time and score. Like, it's a free shot.
Yeah, I had to do it.
It's a free shot. Even if it's a bad shot. It's like,
I had to do
coach,
it.
Like, I had to.
Exactly.
So I think it's time and score. I think it's, like, also, like, how many have you made? Like, also, like, it's different for everybody. Like, it might be a good shot for me. It might not be a good shot for one of my teammates.
Yeah, no, that's the balance,
yeah,
right?
100%.
Like,
and,
knowing
like,
that about
that
yourself.
probably, like, makes it hard for coaches, too. Like, how do you tell somebody, like, oh, she can shoot that, but you can't? Like, but that's just reality.
Paid the big bucks. That's why they get paid the big bucks.
Yeah,
big bucks.
So.
Okay, so
balance.
You kind of got me to basically, like, the start of your WNBA career. You technically leave a year of eligibility on the table.
Maybe I can go back with all this new college stuff.
Soccer.
Yeah, play soccer.
What do you remember? Indiana gets the number 1 pick. What do you remember just about draft night? Like, is it a blur? Do you have, like, a...
I remember when the draft lottery happened, actually.
Okay. Because that was, like, I actually looked it up before this.
It was between, like, Indiana And who was the other team that is second best odds?
Oh, I don't remember second best.
Who
I know
was the-
LA had the second pick.
Maybe it was LA. I think
Okay.
LA had like the second best odds to get the first pick.
Okay.
So it's probably like between one of those two teams that were going to get the first pick.
And then maybe Chicago?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't remember. But I didn't want to go to LA.
Okay.
But I wanted Indiana to get the first pick.
So them getting the first pick, I feel like you would have left college regardless, but this was like,
I probably
okay, now
would
I'm going
have,
for sure.
but at the time, I was definitely still up in the air, like
So it
early in
influenced you a
my
little bit.
senior year.
Okay.
And then I was like, eventually as senior year kind of went on, I was like, this just needs to be the end. Like, what is there more for me to do here?
Yeah.
Like, it's time for me to like start a new chapter of my life. Like, I've done plenty here, like, whatever. And I think Indiana was a good spot for me to start my, professional career.
Why do you think that?
I'm a Midwest gal.
Okay.
I think the franchise was in a place of like having the type of core players that like could help make me successful too. Like we have AB, we had Kels was here, Lex was here, and I think that was really attractive. So I think it was that, and then I remember like so I knew for a while. And I didn't really tell anyone. I told, like, Connor knew. But other than that, like, my parents kind of knew. But they never, like, really pushed. And, like, I kind of, like, told them, like, how I was feeling, what I was thinking. And it was always, like, I'm going to continue to think about it. Like, that's kind of what I told everybody. Even Coach Bluter, like, we would kind of go back and forth. And obviously, like, that was hard because, like, Coach Bluter, like, she wanted me to come back. Like, that was her job, like, to get her best player back on her roster. Like, anybody would have done that. But at the same time, like, when I made my final decision, obviously she was very happy for me. But then like I decided and I obviously told, my close circle of people. And then I remember I wanted to make sure I announced it before senior day because I didn't want to go through senior day and like there'd just be like this looming big
this
question mark of like, is this really senior day? Is it not? That wasn't fair to myself or to my teammates that were also trying to celebrate senior day. Like I didn't want it to be about that. And I knew deep down. So like, why wouldn't I just decide and like tell people? So I remember I had like my post all drafted up and then I just like went to the range to hit golf balls and I just like posted it and then I like kind of put my phone down and obviously like it blew up and whatever. But I think like a lot of people close to me and around me like kind of knew that that's what was coming and that was what's going to be what happened. And and then draft night, I guess that whole thing is kind of a blur because obviously, we make it to the national championship. I go back to Iowa for literally a day. Then I go to LA. Then I go to New York. And, like, you have so many obligations and so many things to do. And then, like, you get drafted. And then the next morning, you're on Good Morning America. And then you fly to Indianapolis to, like, meet everybody at your new organization. Like, it's just a lot. It's a lot to take in. And it all kind of just happened so fast. But in a way, I'm kind of thankful for that because, like, at the same time, you can't, like, really, like, understand the moment. And you're just kind of in it and you're just doing what you do. And then you're just thrown into the fire and you go play.
Yeah. So when you get out to Indiana to, like, start training camp starts. Sometimes those training camps can be hard because it's just, like, a lot of learning, a lot of newness.
It is, yeah.
Who, like, helped you the most just kind of, like, through the training camp? Help, like, adjust to this new life?
I mean, I think there was a lot of people. And I feel like very fortunate to have been drafted to, the Fever. Like, everybody was so great. Like, Lynn Dunn, she was the one that drafted me. Like, she, like, always was checking in on me, like, always texted me. And she still does. Like, even though she's not our GM, she still comes to all our practices. And even this year, texts me all the time, make sure I'm doing okay. And, like, how can she help me? Or, she's thinking of me. And, all my teammates were really good from the moment I got drafted. Like, E-Dub to Lexi to, AB, whoever it was, like they've always been like, right there for me and some of my biggest fans and, told me where to eat in the city or this and that or whatever it was. Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, really all of them. And it's just such a great franchise that, it's a place that just really loves basketball and wants to see people succeed. So,
Okay. You brought this up a little bit and I actually have it like in my notes. So I was very excited. Risk assessment. So we're going to get there. So you start the season.
Or making passes?
Making passes, yeah. Because your first game out.
I don't have very good risk assessment skills.
We're getting to that. No. Like your first game out, there's a lot of hype. Yeah. There's a lot of conversation happening. We all remember it.
That game was a blur.
Yeah.
Thank God. I try to forget that.
Well, I'm going to bring it up one time.
No, that's fine. I like talking about it now.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
So you do commit 10 turnovers
I do.
in your WNBA debut, but
What a beast.
later in the season.
Double, actually.
Yeah. You did have 20 points. Later in the season, you also set the single assist season record with 19 assists. So as somebody who has the ball in their hands pretty much the entire game, like what is your thought around risk assessment? Honestly,
it's hard.
How did a 10 turnover game not impact your ability to still go out and play make? Because I feel like that is what it is. It's a constant assessment.
Well, I will say I apologize to the team after that game in the locker room. I felt really bad.
It happens.
Yeah. But I mean, like I've had those games before, and I'm gonna have another 8 turnover game in my career. Like that's just how I played, and like people always try to make a big deal about that. And I bet if you like look up my turnovers in college, I bet I led the NCAA all time in turnovers in my career. Like I'm not saying like this is a good thing to brag about, but like I don't know, like that's just how I play. You think it just
comes
like,
with in order to have the good?
Yeah.
And like there's trade-offs.
Yes, I can improve and get a lot better, and I understand that. And I feel like that's probably been one of the positives I've taken out of even this year. Obviously, I haven't been available as much as I would have liked, or it's been so hard stop and go, and it's hard to get in a flow. But like even when I just came back this last time, like I feel like I played some of my best like floor games. In general of like just managing the game and like passing, setting my teammates up, and maybe I haven't shot it as great as I would have liked, and it's just hard to get into a flow of how much I've been out and in the lineup, and then I'm on a minutes restriction and things like that. But even like late game, like I feel like I've managed games much better than I maybe did my rookie year, and that's something that like isn't probably always talked about, but like I can find confidence in that. But I think the risk assessment thing, like maybe it's a toxic part of me, but I always think it's going to go well. And then I throw it and it doesn't go well.
Honestly, a little delusion is nice.
Yeah, I definitely have some delusion.
In order to be great,
for sure.
You have to have it.
For sure, I definitely have some delusion. And all the good players have delusion.
Yes.
Like that's just true, the truth. Like you have to think you're better than you actually are at the end of the day. Like
100%.
you have to have that confidence about yourself.
Yeah.
But I think that's even been something like me and Steph have like always talk about when we go and watch film, and even like that New York game where like I played really, really well. Obviously scored a lot of points. I think I had 9 assists or 10 assists that game. This last game this year. I started the fourth quarter off with like 3 turnovers in a row or 2 turnovers in a row. And Steph yanked me and she was like, this is like a learning moment. Like you got to be able to like, yes, like maybe it could have been there. Like maybe you could have thrown a little bit better of a pass. Maybe they could have caught it. But like, do we need that in this moment? Like, no. Right. And then she subbed me back in. And there was a play where I kind of got a steal and like we're going in transition and Kelsey Mitchell just like takes off down the middle of the floor. And so there's like 2 people kind of by her. And I literally like go to grab the ball and then I like just dribble out. And I like literally just start smiling so big. And I look at Steph and I like told her after the game.
That better be on film.
Yeah. I'm like, you don't understand how hard it was for me to not throw that. And she's like, oh, I know. Trust me. Everybody was like, we saw you about to throw that. But I think it's just like kind of a learning process. And it goes back to like even my shot thing. Like it's just time and score and understanding. I think that's like where I can still kind of improve. Like, do we really need that like sequence of a game? Like, have we just scored twice or have we just missed 2 shots in a row?
Right.
Like throw it then or like on the makes. But if we just miss, like get us into something, like help us score, things like that. I think like I can continue to improve in that area.
Yeah, that's like the assessment. It's also feeling the game as it's happening. Yeah,
for
and
sure.
that comes with age and with growth. So your first 2 games of your rookie year, like they're not terrible. It's like 14.5 points, 4.5 assists. For a lot of people, this would be like career numbers.
Yeah.
But you're not shooting great. So you're like below 30.
Yeah.
But then the next 4 games, your shooting percentages go up. You're like 40 and 32.5. Your numbers go up, obviously, like literally 18, 7, and 7, basically. All right. So you're already growing is basically the point that I'm trying to get to. And I'm just like curious if there was something in here that you're like already figuring out. Like, what are you like already figuring out?
Like just the shooting thing was like, I mean, like you just like, you go on stretches where you don't shoot as well and then you should go on stretches where you shoot great. And I think that's kind of like a little bit of what I experienced, and also just adjusting to a faster game and like getting picked up more and like finding different creative ways.
What was the biggest adjustment out of all of that?
I think just how much I was getting pressured. Like it was just like constant full court. And also I think as the season went on, like that chilled out as much. Like it's hard to like want to do that an entire season. Like teams like you don't want to pick up 94 feet the entire season. Like that's just hard. So I think that kind of relaxed a little bit. I think overall, like our team just got better. Maybe not as much early in the season, but after Olympic break, like we just like played together better. Like we read each other better, things like that. And then like, you know, once you start making shots and like your offense is just flowing, like you just get more confident. So I think it wasn't like I can't. It's like I think that's why I was so frustrated maybe early in my rookie year is like, well, why is it not going in? Like this is stupid. Like I'm 2 shots away from being really, really good. And then obviously I found it and things kind of soared from there.
The first 11 games was that really tough stretch, like schedule wise that a lot of people talked about. Do you, when you look back on really the whole year, what was like the breakout game for you? And I don't even think it has to do necessarily with like points specifically. Like what game where you're like, boom, for you?
This might be an interesting answer, but I remember we played the Mystics early on in the season at home. We actually lost. But in the second half, I like just kind of was like, screw it. Like, I'm just going to like go hoop now.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember like, I just like started being aggressive. Like I just like was getting after it on defense. Like I was just shooting the ball without thinking, like passing to my teammates. I think I had like finished with 27 and like, we didn't win, but I felt like I kind of just like felt like myself out there. And then after that, I kind of just kept building and building and building. And then, you know, we went to Minnesota, beat Minnesota before Olympic break. Won quite a few at home there. Like people always say it was after Olympic break, but really it was right
starting
before.
To build, yeah. You broke the assist record, I think, before Olympic
break. Did
I?
Okay.
I think so. Well, no.
And then
fact check.
Maybe I did. I don't know. And then we went and played Dallas at Dallas, and I had 24-19.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was just like
was that before Olympic break?
Olympic break.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
That was before Olympic break.
So it was
last
building.
Game before Olympic break.
Yeah, it was building.
So like I was going into Olympic break like pretty confident in my abilities and what I could do. And then obviously having a whole month of practice,
like to build on it.
That makes things a lot easier when you come back. And nobody from our team had any like obligations other than Christy Wallace was with Australia. And then came back and I think we won our first 7. It was nice. We played like 7 games in a row at home.
Yeah.
And then we ran into the Lynx and they beat us at home. But it's easy when you can just keep stacking games and getting better and better. Yeah. But I would say like certainly before Olympic break, I kind of
it sounds like you got to like, I don't know how else to say it, like the fuck it place.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it.
Yeah. And
which is a really wonderful place to be.
That's hard as a rookie too, because like you're coming in, you have new teammates, like you're trying to like fit in and like please everybody.
We're probably
like,
thinking a lot.
Yeah. And like you're the point guard. Like you have so many people to get involved, people that have been in this franchise for a really long time, trying to learn new coaches, like new league, everything. And I think eventually like you're just like, all right, time to just like go play and go hoop and like just be yourself.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Support for this show comes from Google Pixel. When it comes to upgrading your smartphone, you could settle for the same old, or you could reach for the extraordinary and try a Google Pixel 9 Pro. Pixel 9 Pro comes with Gemini, your built-in AI assistant that helps you supercharge your ideas. And now with Gemini Live, you can have an actual conversation with Gemini. So the next time you want travel itinerary suggestions, need help phrasing a message, or you just want to know when the next game is on, you can ask Gemini. It also features Pixel's best camera yet. You know those moments where you want to take a group photo, but you can't decide who'll be the photographer? Well, with their Add Me feature, you no longer need to worry about that. It's a camera built to capture everyone in beautiful resolution, including the person taking the photo. Meet Pixel 9 Pro. With a stunning new design, the advanced AI power of Gemini, and their best camera yet, now we're talking. You can learn more about the new Google Pixel 9 with Gemini Live on the Google Store.
Support for Bird's Eye View comes from Nike. No matter the team, no matter the ranking, every season starts with the same goal: win it all. And Nike knows that reaching that goal starts long before the final whistle. It starts with the battles at practice, the losses that keep you up at night, and everything in between. Nike has the best gear to get you on the court, field, or track and pushing through your hardest moments. So whether you're the champ or you're looking to knock them off the pedestal, Nike is there to help you with winning no matter where you play. Visit Nike.com for more information and be sure to follow Nike on Instagram, TikTok, and other social platforms for more great basketball moments. Looking back on your rookie year, it's, everybody's picking you up full court, trying to tire you out.
For sure.
Not let you get anything easy. They're physical with you. They're pushing you right. Everyone knows you like to go left. So now teams, you already talked about in college, they didn't really do that as much. You're getting trapped. All the things. Yeah. I think this is actually, to be honest, my personal favorite part of the WNBA is that because the league is small and because everybody's so good, it's like very quickly your weaknesses make it to the scouting report. Like whatever it is teams are trying to do, they get to all the team scouting reports. And then it becomes like the game within the game. Because you're like, oh, this team is trapping me. So they think this. Yeah. And now I have to either hide my weakness, right? Like don't let them exploit that in order to like highlight your strengths. Yeah. Or in the off season, usually you're like, I'm gonna have to get better at this. Yeah. And I think when I look back on your rookie year, the most impressive part outside of the numbers, which I mean, like literally I had it written down. It's like you said what was that t-shirt? It had all the records on the back. It's like literally everything. Points in the season, 3-pointers made, assists, blah, 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 all of it. What was most impressive was I really off the top can't think of anybody in their rookie year who in real time adjusted to that and like took what was being called a weakness and actually turned it into a strength. So like example would be like, they're forcing you right. Yeah. And I think you were figuring it out and finally you're like, I'm just going to take it. Yeah. And you started taking it. So I don't know. I'm just curious, like, how hard was it to do that?
I mean, it was definitely hard. I think even like the floater, like I started making some after Olympic break and it's not like I couldn't or I can't. It's like, that's not what I had done. Yeah. Like, or had to do. Yeah. In college, like I got layups and I got threes, like 2 best shots in the game, still are. And I think at the professional level, like you just have to learn to like do so many different things and like expose them for what they're going to give you. And like, I remember, I think we played Phoenix right out of the break. I'm pretty sure. And the first shot I made was a 3 coming off a ball screen going to my right. Like I just shot it. Like I didn't think, I came off and I just shot it and it went in. And like, I remember like, I was like, that felt good. Like I just worked on that for a month. Like, nice, awesome. It works. Like even like just in like that amount of time, like my confidence and like wanting to do it and just doing it. And like, if it goes in, it doesn't go in, whatever, like I have to shoot it. Like that's just reality. Yeah. And then even the trap, like I feel like not that many people when I've been active this year, like have really trapped me and AD because we were so good out of it at the end of the last year. Like you trap, okay, like I'll hit AB, she just slips out, 4-on-3 advantage immediately. Like we were just so good at it. A lot of people have just been either switching like 1 through 4 or even like the teams that can 1 through 5 now, like just try to like distract me with length or just not try or to like not a give hedge you an advantage. Or just being at the point kind of thing. So I think like teams have kind of almost been adjusting maybe into my second year because like I got so good out of like maybe doing things that they thought I couldn't do. Yeah. But like you have to find a way.
Right.
Like,
but so now, this is, okay. This to me is one of the harder things also. You have something you're great at. You want to do it, right? Like we all have something, whether it's a move, a shot, we want it. We want it every time. We don't want to go away from it. It's our favorite. But you have to have these counters. And it sounds like for you, as teams started forcing you right and pushing you into the paint more, like not wanting to give you threes, obviously, but also not give it, you had to kind of like get this floater off. And it's just, to me, there's a give and a take with that. So at what point are you like, okay, sacrificing what might be your favorite shot to take this thing you're maybe not as good at, but you have to do it? So like, how do you balance that mentally? Because I'll say for me, pull up jump shots, my favorite thing. Yeah. And at some point somebody was like, hey, you're going to have to start to like incorporate a floater or a runner, but I wasn't good at it. Yeah. But I saw the moments where I'm like, I have to shoot this.
Yeah. I feel like there's frustrate me. Definitely times where I'm still like in there and it's like, or like I go back and watch it and it's like, I've worked on that so much. Like, why don't I just shoot it? Yeah. Like, but just do it. But it's not like natural. It's not natural to you yet. And I think the only way to like make it natural is like, you just got to do it in the game. Like whether you want to or not, like the best way to like, for it to come and just be a thing is like, you just got to shoot it in a game. Like you can do as many reps as you want outside of practice. But like, once you like get into actual flow and competition, like that's when like, it's really going to become a thing is if you're willing to actually do it. And I think I've gotten decent at the like, okay, I drive right. And I think this was like a learning thing for me. Like early in my WNBA career, I would like drive right and I would have a step on the big But I would go up for the layup and I would just get blocked and blocked and blocked. Like Asia and Ezzy, or like those really long athletic 5 players. You go down the list of whoever they are. Because you think you have a step on them, and you do, but they're just longer and more athletic. Like, they're just going to get there. There's not those players in college. So, like, you kind of, like, I think I've gotten pretty good at that, like, stopping, like, just enough and, like, the right side floater off the glass on the right side, but, like, just becoming more comfortable everywhere else. But also at the same time, I think you have to remember, like, you can still get to whatever you want. Like, if you're that good at it, like,
no, it's true.
Steph always says to us, like, good offense beats good defense. Like, that's just the truth at the end of the day. Like, you know, you can, like, have, like, even, like, when we're playing defense, like, if somebody makes a good shot, like, all right, good defense. Like, you did what we asked you to do. Like, they made the tough shot. Like, all right, you'll get them next time. Like, that's what you're willing to give up or whatever, you know? So, like, I feel like I can always get to what I'm good at. Like, I always believe that. Like, it's just, like, adding more things. 1, so I'm comfortable. And 2, like, they're not like, oh, it's just step back left, or, oh, it's just driving right.
Well, the more you add actually allows you
to make it easier. Yeah, 100%.
To get what you want.
So.
Yeah. All right, you brought up AB in the pick and roll. Mm-hmm. You guys have clearly developed over time. It hasn't even been that much time, to be honest, but over the last, like, 2 seasons, more chemistry. What do you think it's about, like, each of your games that it complements each other so well in the pick and roll?
I mean, I think she has such a good feel for the game. Like, people don't realize that. Like, and I think that's probably, like, early on us playing together, like, it was just the process of learning one another. Like, and I'm sure before I got to Indiana her first year, I'm sure they weren't seeing many traps or hard edges or anything like that. So it was just a process. But I think I saw something where she's shooting, like, the best mid-range percentage on the year. Like, she's so good at that. Like, when I'm coming off, like, just hit her in the pocket, immediate shot. Or, you know, even, like, driving to the rim, like, catch one dribble body. Like, she's so strong. Like, people don't realize how strong she really is. And then at the same time, like, she's such a great facilitator for our team. Like, especially a lot when I've been out this year, like, she's been initiating a lot of our offense. Like, we feel very comfortable being able to do that. Like, we trust her. She's a really high IQ player. She's a good passer. Like, she knows what to get us into and understands her teammates really well. So,
it's such a luxury to have a post player that can do that. It changes a lot.
Yeah, and I think it's like also was kind of like
a lot of pressure too.
A learning thing for her too. Like, when she was at South Carolina, like, she played on the block. Like, she was a true post player. So when she got into the league, it was trying to kind of just a learning process. And I think probably especially this year, you've seen it really, really translate the most. Like, she's had a tremendous year. She's been, you know, one of the best post players in the league, if not the best. Like, she's been amazing. She's the best all-around post player in the league. I don't think it's up for question. Like, she passes the ball well. She rebounds so well. She shoots the mid-range jumper when she finishes well around the rim. And honestly, her three-point shot looks really well. She just doesn't attempt enough. She attempts less than 1 a game. So she's made a few this season. Like, she hasn't got to shoot enough. So, you know, I think she still, like, has so much room to improve, and she works really hard. So just feel very lucky and fortunate that I got to come to a place where we have such a great young post player. We get to kind of do this together.
Yeah, that is special. And you guys in year 1 made it to the playoffs.
100%.
Obviously, it didn't. You know, you lost in the first round or whatever. But
I was just talking about this like 2 days ago. I had some, like, I was watching some old highlights, or they, like, popped up of game 2 in Connecticut. Game 1, we didn't play well. Like, they just outplayed us and they won. We shot bad. AT had one of those games. All of them did. They were all making threes, whatever. And we were up, or maybe we were down 1, or maybe we were up. I don't remember. With, like, in the last minute, and, like, we had, like, 4 possessions at a chance to, like, take the lead, and we turned it over literally every single time. Like, we had so many chances. We continued to get stops, and I just, like, went up to Steph and AK and Jan and all of them, and I was like, hey, like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but, like, we should have beat you, like, in game 2.
Oh,
like,
my God,
you're lucky. Like,
you're surrounded by Connecticut.
Literally, yeah.
I mean, obviously with Steph, I knew that, but the more you start naming
AK,
names, I'm like,
Jan, our player development, like, all of them, video coordinator, they're all
what they say.
They're like, yeah, but you didn't. And I'm like, all right, well. It was all fate,
just
because
FYI.
if I would have beat you and we were going back to Indiana, like, we weren't losing that, and maybe you wouldn't be coaching us right now. So I just joke with them. But honestly, like, we felt really confident going into that series, and I felt like there was kind of a feeling, I don't know if this is true or not, but I didn't feel like anybody in the league really wanted to play us. Like, we were playing so well. We had the best,
and you
the best, or maybe
pace.
the second best record.
The pace you were playing with,
100%.
That's really hard in the playoffs.
Sprint. Let's go.
Yeah. Everyone's tired. Usually the game slows down in the playoffs, but you were gonna make it fast. So
yeah, I was like, we just have to get it back to Indiana. Because, I mean, I think if it would have been the format of what we're doing this year, where game, fly back,
1-1 basically.
I think that would have maybe played a little bit more to Connecticut's advantage. But I think last year, all we had to do was steal one of the first two, and then we have game 3 at our place.
Yeah.
But we couldn't manage to do it. But it's okay.
What do you think, like going into so now that you had experienced playoffs, and like the intensity does rise a little bit, you know, it's like bigger, the magnifying glass is bigger, all of it. Do you feel like you've had to change any of like your mental prep, not just because of the playoffs, but in general, like something you've talked about before, working with a sports psych in college? How do you feel about like your mental prep as you've gone through your WNBA career?
I feel like it's been a lot of the same. Like, still always work with sports psych. And I think that was like a really big part of like my evolution in college, especially junior and senior year. Like, that was really important. And especially as like more and more eyeballs got on me. Like, I think it's just a good reset for yourself of like what you're trying to achieve, and not always like about like my on-court performance too, but you know, everything else too. Like, there's just so much to manage. And then obviously, like, I feel like that's been a huge part of this year. Like, it's just been so challenging, like being active and playing 4 games and then not, and like not feeling the best, and then like frustrated of like how hard I worked in the off season, and then like all I do is rehab and like continue to do this process, and just like trying to trust that the best I can. And obviously there's really frustrating days, and there's days where like it's a little bit easier and like you're very, very motivated and like you're close to the finish line of getting back and being back. And then like, it's not like I have a training camp to like build up to like playing my first game again. It's like, no, like you're tossed into game 30, like go try to play well. Like, it's hard. Like, it really is. And I think it has given me really good perspective on like what a lot of my teammates and people that teams I've been a part of, like certain people have had to go through. Like, I've never been through anything like this. Like, and I think that's probably why it's been so hard, because like I've never really dealt with injury, and that's probably been a challenge in itself, because like when I first like was feeling pain, like I didn't understand it. Like, I didn't know. I was like, am I just tight? Like, am I just getting old? Do I need to hit a stretch? Do I need to get like a little rubbed out? Do I need some icy hot? Like, what's going on here? So I think it's been a balance of like understanding my body. And I know like, you know, whether it's this year, whether it's next year, and even throughout my career, I'm going to be very thankful for this moment. Like, there's certainly,
so you can already sense that
for sure. Okay. Like, I know this is going to help me like understand my body better. And you know,
what are you learning about being like a professional athlete through this injury, or through like these injuries?
I mean, like, I don't think people on the outside always realize like how much time it takes to like be able to play at the level we play at, and like how much extra stuff you have to do, and even
So
like
much
just
extra.
to prepare for a game, especially when you're coming back from injury. Like, when I'm coming back from injury, and like when I've been back a few times this year, like the time I have to get to the arena to like prepare myself and prepare my body, because obviously I'm doing more than, you know, everybody else, just because of like the things I've gone through to this point, and just making sure I'm ready and doing everything I can. Like, I'm there like 4 hours early. Like, it's just hard. It makes for long days. And I'm not saying I would change that for the world, but it's just a lot at times. And then you're doing that for however many games. And
God, a friend of mine, when I was still playing, we got into this argument. He was like, he kind of just said, who works more? Like, someone who has a 9 to 5. I think he said Alex Rodriguez, like a professional. He was like using A-Rod. And I was like, A-Rod. I was like, every professional athlete works more because of that. Like, it's never off. Then you're traveling. Of course, that brings a whole other thing. I did joke that napping was also a part of
sleeping. It's
part
our
of the
job. Like,
I gotta be ready. Someone else is napping.
Sleep is
I gotta
the best
be napped.
recovery.
But it is true that like those extra hours when you're injured are really the hardest part. So
they are.
Like, how are you staying right now? You know, you've been out a bunch of games. How are you staying patient?
Well, I'm not a very patient person in life.
I think that's a challenge for anybody in this moment.
I think I think the most challenging part of like all this. So obviously I have the first injury and I sit out 4 games and then I come back and I play really well.
Yeah.
And I feel really good. And like even just begin the year, like I played great. Like I started the year really good. Like I felt really great. Like my numbers were great. I was shooting the ball well. And then I get hurt and it's like, okay, like you got to get healthy, whatever. You're like, I'm going to do whatever I can, to get back to what I was doing and whatever, feel good. Come back, I play really good. I play really good the second game, and then we go on a road trip, and like I wasn't feeling the best, but I was like, like at the same time, like as an athlete, you're like, I don't want to be soft. Like you're like, am I actually like, do I actually feel something? Do I not? Blah, blah, blah. So I think that's been like the hardest part has just been like the stop and go of everything. Like, and also like with the type of injuries that I've dealt with, like there's no real, it's not like 6 weeks. All right, you're coming back for the Connecticut Sun game on August
all about how you
30th
feel in the moment.
or whatever. It's like, how do you feel? Like, and even like when I have been back, like I don't know how I'm going to feel the next day after playing, like when you're dealing with like these type of injuries. So I think just like the patience of dealing with all of that and giving myself a lot of grace and just trying to be the best teammate I can. And obviously it's hard because I'm not at every second of practice when I've been through like the early parts of rehab. Obviously when I work my way back into practices, I'm there and around more, but like I miss being around my teammates as much as I am. And I miss practicing. Like I've told people this, like I love practice. Like I love competing. Like I love talking crap to the practice boys. Like that's one of my favorite things. And like I haven't been able to do that as much. So just like trusting the process with everything and being patient.
We've all seen you on the sideline, quote unquote, coaching. What do you think?
More so coaching the refs.
Yeah. What do you think you've learned from having to watch? Because it is a unique perspective, and you probably, you haven't had injury, so you haven't really had that type of perspective.
I think it and I was talking to Steph about this, like it's so much easier said than done. Like it gives you like good perspective for like, it's so easy to be like, oh, like why wouldn't you pass it there? Or like, why did you forget to set that screen? Or why didn't you cut? Or how did you not see this and that? Like, and obviously like when I'm in the game, I'm like, everything is happening so fast and I'm trying to watch so many different things. And like, it's so much easier to sit on the side and be like, oh, I saw this and I saw this and I saw this. Like, no, like when you're actually in like the heat of things, like the coaches give us so much grace. And like as teammates, like you have to give your teammates grace too, of like, they're trying to manage so much and see so many different things at one time. And especially as a point guard, like you're trying to manage everything and calling the plays and running the correct stuff and getting everybody in the right position and whatever it is. So you don't always realize like with how fast the game's going, like.
Wait, so do you think you've learned more about and maybe have more understanding for your coaches?
For sure.
And their frustration?
For sure.
No, that's interesting.
I think just for everyone. Like,
yeah. No, that makes sense.
From all different perspectives. I feel like I would be a really good ref though from the side.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't miss a call.
Backseat reffing. Okay, so viewership and ticket sales are like up across the WNBA and then and they're also, when you don't play, there's a dip, like a substantial dip. So how do you handle, does it impact your patience? You know what I mean? Like you're coming back from this injury and you know this, everybody knows this, that when you play that changes.
Yeah.
I guess the better question is, how are you like managing it so it doesn't impact your patience?
Yeah.
I know you want to be out there.
Definitely been hard.
Yeah.
Well, like I'm going to go to every road game no matter what, like whether I'm playing or not. Like, and it's hard because obviously I do feel this like responsibility of like being out there and playing and like, not that I like think there's like a fear of any of this ever going away. Like that doesn't happen when like LeBron or Steph get hurt. Like they're always going to be there.
No,
like,
you'll be back.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like you do want to play, like you want to give people something to cheer about or scream about, or, people spend so much time and money and resources to come and watch you play. And it's been cool to like see people continue to show up and like for my teammates, whether they're like fans of the Fever or just fans of myself, like they're continuing to show up and support. And like, that's why I've been trying to take as much time as I can. Like I sign autographs for way longer when I'm hurt than when I'm active. So that's never something I like wish for, but like, I still want to make as much time as I can for people and, give them something that they can remember. And, I think that's also been really good for me too, is like when I do go out before games and like sign autographs and like see all the young kids or fans or whoever's come to the games, like it just like gives me a really good perspective on everything, and maybe gives me a little bit of motivation and just being thankful for everything that I have. Like, and very thankful for like my fans and just the fans of the WNBA, of like how they can constantly continue to support and truly just want the best for me too at the end of the day. Like, you know, I think that's something that's really cool. So, I think early on with the first couple injuries, I was like, oh, like I need to get back. Like, but I think like my mom texted me like after this last injury, and like they know how hard it's been on me. But my mom was like, you know, you've taken so much time for everybody else. Like you have to take time for yourself now. So just trying to do that the best I can too.
Yeah. I mean, listen, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of chatter when it comes to you in the world of women's basketball. We know this. I think the beauty of what's happening now is that's all just noise and chatter. And at the core, there's definitely this understanding I think we all had of like what you bring is going to bring more. And then those people are going to fall in love with the whole game in its entirety. And that's what's really great about the numbers, right? That has actually like the proof is in that pudding right 100%. Now, which is great. But with the world we live in also comes like social commentary, social media. And I was talking about this with Megan, and she really has like she wanted me to ask this question basically. It's a great question. And it's like, you go on social media, you turn the TV, right? And the issue is all the negativity and how that can impact you. But Megan always brings up this point, and she's taught me this. The other issue is all the positive.
100%.
And what that can like, this like diluted sense of, and so really what it comes down to is, I think as an athlete, you know this, you have to get your confidence like from you.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, can your coaches help you build it and your parents help support you and teammates and all that? Yes. But like in the moment, in the game, when things aren't going well and you have to find it, it has to be within you. And that's where I think social media and really just the social commentary can really impact. So like you have faced massive praise. You have faced harsh criticism. Like, how do you approach building your own confidence and really just staying true to that?
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, I feel like this was something that when I was first working with this sports psychologist in my junior year, when everything really started blowing up, this was like one of the main things we talked about, like how it's literally like a drug. Like you read all this stuff like about yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. I'm so great. And then you play bad and it's like, oh no, like, so I feel like I have really good perspective on everything now. And like, sure, there's still hard moments, but like, I don't really care what people say. At the end of the day, like, I'm in a position where there's going to be, you know, criticism, and there's going to be people that love me. Like, that's what happens when you're playing sport at the highest level. Like, that's how it goes for everybody, whether you're a football player, basketball player, baseball player, whatever it is.
Does your confidence though, like, does it just come from like?
It comes from yourself, 100%. Like, and I think for myself, like, I know how much time I've spent in the gym. I know the hours that I've put in. I know what I've been able to do over the course of my career. Like, so, you know, it has to come from yourself and obviously your teammates too and your coaches. But at the end of the day, like, you're the one stepping on the court and performing. So you have to be confident in your abilities and what you can do. Like, and for me, like, that's what I always fall back on. If I have a tough game or a tough day or a tough practice, it's like, you know, everybody has those days. Like, not everything's gonna be perfect, but you know, you've put in the time to be in these moments and you deserve to be in these moments. Like, just trust that. So
100%. It really is incredible. I was literally on a plane the other day, and it was actually a while ago because you were playing and it was in Boston. This is on ESPN. I was on the plane. I had it on. The guy like diagonal from me also had it on. So I was like,
hey,
dope.
Let's go.
You didn't have the best shooting night, but you finally hit a three. Like, and you can see on your face, there was like, this man threw his hands up.
Go.
He was so hyped. And the best part was like, game ends. He gets up to like go in the overhead. He looks back, he sees me. And there's like this moment where like, clearly I just saw him react that way to this moment. And he was just, and I was like, I'm watching too. I was like, I'm watching too. We're good. But with everything, it's like your relationship with the fans is so special in that way. You make people feel. And I think that's really what separates you. I want to have one little fun moment here.
Okay.
All right. Maya Moore is one of your favorite players. Knack for playing huge, big moments.
Yeah.
What are your top 3 moments of your career so far?
Oh, that's so hard.
Or maybe shots.
Professionally or in college?
Whatever you want.
I would say the South Carolina game's up there in my career.
There's one.
The New York game this year was pretty fun.
That was a good one.
There's so many I could pick. Like, this is so hard.
That's what's great. Just pick 3.
And then I'm going to pick probably the Indiana shot. How could I leave that off?
Ooh,
My junior year.
Yeah.
Because that might have been one of like the first like true, like obviously that was my junior year and we go on to make the Final Four, but that like really kickstarted everything.
That went viral.
Yeah.
Okay, now bench start, cut them. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna make you do
I
it.
know I could.
You want to do it?
Okay. Cut probably the New York game because like if we lost that game, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it does. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, there's no
like,
stakes though. It's just a regular season.
Start the South Carolina game and bench the Indiana shot.
All right, I love it. All right, go get the bus. Get her out of here.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you for coming on. All right, everybody, that's it with Caitlin Clark. I hope you enjoyed it. I was so thankful for the time that she gave me because there's so much to ask Caitlin, so much to talk about. But I really thought it was interesting to hear, you know, how she found her long distance 3, just the evolution of that. To be honest, the way she was talking about college reminded me of just how young she is. I mean, college was literally yesterday for her. So there's still so much growth to be had. I think my favorite part was actually listening to her talk about her breakout game, right? It wasn't some game where she dropped 40 and all that. It just happened to be a game where she finally felt like herself. So of course, wishing her the best as she gets healthy. I know that's tough as well. Listening to her talk about that injury and the patience needed. It sounds really hard, but can't wait to see her back on the court, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, this episode is a co-production of Together and Vox Media. Our producers are Tommy Alter, Jason Gallagher, Richie Bozick, Harry Krinsky, Jess Clarendon, and Melanie Carter. And a special thanks to Ramon Dampour.